What's up, everybody? Today we're gonna do something a little different. Don't know exactly what we're gonna call it. I was thinking about calling it "Smoking and Thinking" or something like that. If there's anybody out there listening, I'm up for suggestions. But yeah, sometimes I'm just kind of like, I think we should get on here and just smoke and think, but aloud. Then I thought maybe also do a little review of the weed I pick up from the dispensary down the road from my house. For you locals around here, check out Alaska Original on the corner of Vine and Hollywood in Wasilla. I got some good stuff. I go in there all the time. They're super, super awesome people. Today, we're smoking a OMFG pre-roll coming in at about 29% THC. And it's one of my favorites. I'll tell you, the first time I ever tried this strain, I remember the night they got it in, because that night I went and got a joint, and I was going to come home, take the dogs out for a little walk around the old neighborhood, and I just remember smoking that joint and thinking, damn, that was a good joint, that was some good weed. And as we're walking, it's real dark, and I don't have any lights or anything. I'm just kind of relying on the lights of the main road out there, and just baked, cruising, got the dogs, got all three of them, and I just kind of look over. I thought I saw something. It was dark though, and kind of look over, I see something moving, and I'm like, what the fuck, is this a person coming out of the woods or something? No, just a fucking moose 3 feet away from my head. And so we started booking it, and I was like, oh my fucking god. And that's why I remember smoking OMFG for the first time, because I had an OMFG type moment that night. Which, those fucking moose, dude, relentless around here. It's insane. I have to go out every morning with a spotlight and nighttime. Just check, make sure they're not in the yard and stuff. But yeah, we almost got trampled, me and the dogs, last year. We technically got trampled. I just didn't get hurt. We all got, it was fucking incredible. The mama moose ran right over the top of my firstborn dog. He just weaseled right through her legs. He slipped his collar and just dipped out, and she ran right through the pack of us. And yeah, it was intense. But we came out unscathed of that one. So anyways, guys, what I was kind of thinking about is I've been listening to a lot of crazy shit lately, as you could probably imagine. And it just reminds me of something I often think about, and it's kind of a conscious thought in my mind. And it's the state of things right now, or progressively for the last few years, how the state of things have been. And basically what I keep coming back to is, a lot of times people use it as an excuse, or kind of a reason, I guess. A reason to bitch, a reason to not do shit, a reason to not put in effort to things, a reason out of doing something good. Is they say, all this bad shit's going, oh, who cares? What good is it going to do to do this or that, right? Well, I'm the opposite way. I use that as fuel. I use it as fuel when I see the state of things and how fucked up everything is and how much chaos there's there is in the world, and just I use it as fuel to be the best possible motherfucker I can be. You know what I mean? Like, that's more of a reason to work even harder. And the other part of that is, well, with the fucking way things are right now, we have to work really fucking hard because that's what is required for, society right now. We're working really fucking hard for not much in return, it feels like, or things are getting more expensive, we'll put it that way. And it seems like there's nothing you can do to help. And I can relate to that feeling, but I think there is more than you and I even understand to be done to try and help this problem. You know what I mean? And it starts within us. Really the only thing that we can do is focus on being a better you and I every day. And there's really no other way I see it going. You know what I mean? Leading by example. You know what I mean? Being the person, maybe in your friend group or in your neighborhood that starts kind of the ball rolling, as far as like maybe every now and then, maybe once a week, twice a week, maybe every day you go around the neighborhood and you pick up trash. You know what I mean? We're kind of keeping our community clean. You're taking some personal accountability, and you are on a personal level contributing to a larger issue that's going on, and it's going to take people like that doing things like that. And I mean, it's definitely there's a wide variety of things that we can do. As a small business owner, I try to do trash pickups with like the church and stuff. I try to go out and invest time into the community and invest what would be money. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of money to invest, but what I have is my time, and right now that is my money. And then, I think the biggest thing from that is we see our neighbors doing things, and we are motivated more so to do similar things, especially when they're positive. And something as small as like having an American flag outside. I got 37 on the front of my house. Just kidding, but close. But like everybody on the street, we all have American flags. And when I moved to this neighborhood, that made me feel prideful and happy to live in this neighborhood, because I respect those values, and I hold those values close to me too, and it's evident that my neighbors do as well. And but I mean I look at my neighbors, and I think I've talked about this before, but I'm one of the younger ones in my neighborhood. So like one of my neighbors specifically, we would live close enough to kind of talk a lot and see each other a decent amount, and so but I look to him as because he's an older guy. I look to him as like the like a mentor, I guess. I wouldn't say so much a mentor, but just like I look for the example that he is leading by. I mean, he's got a big family and stuff like that, and so there are many things that I can learn from a guy like that. And by his example, the example that he's setting, he keeps his yard stays on point, and he's leading by example, and it motivates me to keep mine in better condition than I do sometimes. But it's that in a nutshell, man. It's taking personal accountability, leading by example, getting out in the community and doing something. I hear too many people bitch and moan about the problems in the world, and what the fuck are you doing about it? You know what I mean? Like I get irritated with something as small as the fucking trash on the side of the road, especially in Alaska. It gets horrible we get snow building up all winter, and that collects trash, and then it melts, and then it'll go a really long time without anybody like picking up the trash, and it builds up, and it just makes the communities look like shit. And that's why I invest my time and money to going out and picking those pieces of trash up off the fucking road. You know what I mean? But it's something that's a small example in the grand scheme of things. If you have a skill, a lot of times, right now there's, helping your community could be investing your time. You have a set of skills, and you can do it, and donate your time. You know what I mean? You can teach. You can just help. Everybody needs a strong back. But kind of the point of me saying this is like, I don't know. I guess what got me rolling on this was I get real fed up with people who bitch and moan about problems and then don't ever take any action to like try and move forward on that shit. Like, I don't know, man. It's a personal pet peeve of mine, because I am, and some people get overwhelmed by it more so than they don't. But I'm pretty fucking, I don't know, passionate about, if you don't like something, get to a better place. Like, I'll fucking help you come up with a plan and make it happen. And I get a little, I guess, passionate about that, and I'm like, dude. But it's a pet peeve of mine. It's like, I've been in so many situations that I did not want to be in, and I had to work like fuck to get myself out of those situations and onto a better one. And that is what life is. It's a series of moving from one place to another place, hopefully progressively growing and getting better every time. And the hope is to never go backwards. Even if you stay in one spot for a long time, never go backwards. But sometimes that happens too. But my point is like, there's almost always something we can do in a situation. And that poor me attitude of, there's nothing I can do, I'm helpless, I could never get behind that type of fucking attitude. Even if I ever feel close to feeling like I'm making an excuse, or like I feel like a bitch, I feel like I'm just worthless, and I hate feeling worthless. I fucking hate feeling helpless. There's always something to do, and maybe there's a little bit of a control freak in me, I don't know, but I also know the power of my work. I know the power of myself, you know what I mean? I know that I'm capable of moving from a place that I don't like to a place that's better than that, you know what I mean? And I think we're all capable of that. I think people just I think there's a lot to be said for those that don't like to move and shake and shimmy through life. I have a lot of friends, that personal friends that I've known for years, that seem to have been stuck, and and you try to help them and you try to talk to them. And for me, I feel like I've exhausted everything I can do. I've exhausted every possible way of like trying to sell it to them or talk them into like these ideas and these things and ways you can change your life and become the person you want to be, but have the life you want to have. It's all possible. That's my theory. And I think a lot of people share that theory as well. And I think maybe what people get discouraged by is the work that comes with that. It's like, yes, everything is possible. Everything is possible. Within reason, of course. But the work behind that is insane. And a lot of people are content with their 9 to 5 Monday through Friday grind, and it's easy. They have a uniform picked out for them. They get told what hours to work, what hours to break, what hours lunch, when to go home. They get told where they put their investments. They get told, what their fucking pay is. They get told, this is everything. It's all set for you. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just work and collect your paycheck. Some people are content with that. And I personally am not. I've always felt like I want to have a bigger part of something, a bigger part of a community, a bigger part of a of a team. And for a long time, I was an hourly employee, and it was always about that. It was always about working hard as fuck, having a good fucking attitude, and being part of the team and working towards a bigger cause, and growing. But it was always something bigger. It was never just, I'm just here. You know what I mean? I'm just here to collect my paycheck. I could never be one of those people. I'm too passionate, too much fire, and maybe that's why I get so fired up about this shit. Is because I just have so much fire and energy towards these things like this or subjects like this. But I believe there's a lot of people out there who feel the same way. And for a long time, that's another thing, man. It's like a long time I didn't realize some of the things that were possible. Like, I didn't understand. I didn't quite get what people had. I would hear it. I just couldn't quite get it because I'd never experienced it myself. But I'm telling you, once you start to build something from your mind and from what you picture in your mind and your heart and your soul, when you build something or you get to see a project through fruition, or develop a skill, or many different things, I think you start to learn what you're really capable of. And it's like, a lot of times, dude, I'll tell you right now, my biggest weakness is fucking patience. I could do so much stuff if I only had the fucking patience and a whole bunch of fucking money, but that's beside the point. Patience, dude. I get a little going and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to sit down and learn it. But I started developing ways to kind of use my strong suits even stronger, and kind of take away those weaknesses, like giving myself the opportunity to not have patience, blocking out time and things like that. But that's a big weakness of mine. But with understanding weakness, you can develop kind of a plan to counter that, and then you get back on track as far as growing and progressing and winning, and that's kind of ultimately what that's about. But you got to keep going in a positive direction. And so, coming back to the state of things, again, I fucking hate when people like to bitch and moan and not take action. And I don't want to ever be one of those people, but to each their own. I just think that, if we want to see some change, like they say, be the change you want to see in the world, we have to start being individually great. We have to start individually being, as excellent as we can and as American as we can. And that, I say that because I'm a patriot that is concerned for the state of this country. And I think there's a lot of you out there that share that belief. And I think that if we don't start putting the fucking work in now, what are we going to have in 10, 20 years from now? Is there going to be a 10, 20 years from now? Who really fucking knows? But, it's really just, I think really it's just about becoming the best you can be. As cheesy as that sounds, a lot of the shit I say is cheesy and kind of cliche, but I mean, I'm telling you firsthand, I've seen magic happen with those types of attitudes implemented into life. And like, be the change you want to see in the world. I've seen that. I've seen that have effect on en masse, if you will. You know what I mean? I've seen people make change on a grand scale. I've seen people impact people's lives on a grand scale. And I've seen people's lives impacted on a personal scale, on a personal level. And I just think it's really important to remember that, it's not like people are watching, but people will watch if what you're doing is worth watching. And it's kind of like I'll always use my neighbor as an example. He's a super cool dude. He he's shared a lot of his experiences with me and from his life, and I relate a lot to that, you know. And him being I think he's probably 20 years older than me, you know, got a big family. I think his daughter is closer in age to me than he is, you know. But it's just, you know, I'm not watching, but sometimes I see things like, I see that you know, I think one of the things that's super cool is he's got 3 kids, and I believe so like every time one of them gets to be 16, they like have a car ready for him, ready to drive, and it's all his cars are taken really good care of. He puts real awesome, like, cool, I don't want to say trinkets, but like cool parts. Like, he puts aftermarket parts on all these trucks and cars, and they all look sick. They're all very well maintained, and he does all the maintenance on them himself. And again, he's self-employed. His wife is super nice and super awesome. And but like every time he, like his, I think one of his kids is either about to turn 16. So he's getting one of the cars ready for the kid. And I'm just like, dude, that's so cool that you have a car ready to go every time he's got 3 kids. Every time they're turning 16, they have a car ready to go. And then they all still live at home, and they all have cars, you know. And I just think that that's something that I would want to do for my family. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit that I see, and I'm like, dude, I think that's cool. I want to be able to have the ability to do that. You know what I mean? And I think it's things like that make a bigger impact on people's lives than a TV show, than podcasts, than any of it, really, man. Is seeing your neighbors do it. It's like, you know, if I saw my neighbor out walking every morning or whatever, like doing a fucking ruck run or ruck walk every day, I'd probably start joining them. You know what I mean? And I do it sometimes. I'm pretty bad about doing cardio outside. I like to do it inside, but and I'll be outside and nobody ever joins, but you know what I mean? It's a nice thought. People see it, you know, people are motivated, and there are people that walk the neighborhood sometimes. And I guess my point is like we as the average American, as the average person, have more of an impact on other average Americans, other average, and when I say average, I don't mean any disrespect by that, but I mean, you know, I'm not a politician. My neighbors aren't politicians. My neighbors aren't people of influence. My neighbors and my friends and me, we are just normal people living everyday lives. I run a business. I'm trying to launch another business. I'm stressed out all the time. I play around on my podcast, you know what I mean? I'm trying to put things in place in order to have a big impact in mass in the future, and I'm working on it now, you know. But we are all not famous. We're just normal people. And I do believe like we have a bigger impact on each other than really any external force, any fucking rich dude talking to you on a podcast. Like, yeah, it's cool, man. I definitely appreciate the wisdom. I definitely appreciate the insight that you share. But we as the people need to realize that we have an even bigger impact on each other's lives, and leading by example, being personally excellent, growing in life and progressing and lifting your neighbor up, you know, your neighbor, your metaphorical neighbor, whatever that is, your friends, lifting people up, educating people, helping people every chance you get, being part of your community. These are all the things that are going to make the communities and so on, you know, communities, states, the nation, a better place. And really right now, we need something better. I don't know how to solve all the problems, but I know how to not be a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I work on every day. I work on becoming a little bit less a piece of shit, so that hopefully my immediate surroundings and what I can touch and what I can affect, hopefully that in turn becomes better or less shitty, you know? And if we all do that, it's just shit we learned in fucking preschool, man. We all put in, we all chip in, we all put in some hard work, we all chip in and take action. You know what I mean? If we work together, that's how we win. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, we've seen it. The last few years has been nothing but division, nothing but chaos, nothing but hate. It's borderline, satanic fucking evil coming out of these motherfuckers' mouths, and what's being propagated and shit. They're tearing us apart. We're supposed to be a family. You know what I mean? The people of this nation, that's what I was raised on. I was raised on, that's your brother. You know what I mean? We're all children of God. That's your sister. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It's the content of your character, just like it's always been. Where the fuck did that go? Politics, that's where it went. You know what I mean? They're fucking using it to make us mad at each other. And for what? So that we don't unite. So that we don't make these, have these epiphanies that, if we just work together a little harder, maybe that'll change everything. You know what I mean? They don't want us to realize that, but that is the fucking truth. And that's why that's a big reason why I do this podcast. And I don't talk about it a lot, and I don't get too in depth into things a lot. But maybe I will in the future. But this is, I'm trying to do my part to get better every day, to be less of a piece of shit every day, so that hopefully that sets an example for somebody else. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't, at least I can say I tried, I guess. But dude, I just think, I don't know. I also think that the world is, I think there's a lot of people out there right now who are in desperate need of wanting to be less a piece of shit every day. I'm one of those people, and this helps me do that. You know what I mean? I'm in desperate need to grow and to consume positive energy and to output positive energy into positive, receptacles, positive, on outlets. You know what I mean? This podcast, hopefully having an impact on a person's life would be fucking perfect for me, and really it's just it's about becoming the best you can be on a personal level. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've noticed. These are just my thoughts, you know what I mean? And I do stay pretty up to date on things and stuff in the world and shit like that. But I might start doing it more. I might start actually having an opinion on some of this shit, because I don't know what else to do right now, you know what I mean? And I just think to myself, the world might be getting shittier. Maybe people are getting meaner. It seems like sometimes I'm just like, that's more of a reason for me to be more positive. That's just a reason for me to be even better, and really show people that in the face of adversity or world, problems, in the face of that, you know what I mean, we can maintain our humanity, and we can maintain our love and kindness for each other. And I know that's all hippy dippy, and it sounds all oh yeah, whatever, for trying to think of the word. Sounds very grandiose, very liberal, or oh yeah, can't we just all love each other? It's like, yeah, I get it. There isn't that, but I think that we could all put a little bit more of that in our step. Put a little of that back in our step. Put a little bit of that love and compassion for humanity back into our step. for so many weeks now, maybe even years, I guess, now that I think about it, I see nothing but hate, not typically locally, but more so on a global scale, or on an agenda scale, I don't know, but there's something out there like all this shit going on in the Middle East, the Russia Ukraine thing. We got people standing with that, you know what I mean, or whatever they fucking support it like it's some kind of fucking sports team. You know what I mean? And it's just like, the fuck are you talking about? Literally, you're supporting the death of people, you know, the destruction of nations or countries. And either way you look at it, it's like, dude, I fucking stand for humanity. I stand for stop the killing. I stand for like, hey, can't we have a fucking sit down and like, or maybe how about the leader of every country gets into a fucking boxing ring like these fucking YouTubers and just dukes it out. And then we'll be like, okay, dude, I'm putting the fucking pipeline through, or whatever the fucking case is. But like, the shit that's going on now is out of hand. I mean, the taxes we're paying to fund these wars, dude, that shit drives me crazy, especially when I get my fucking tax bill and I'm like, okay, you know, like, what? Going to my tax dollars are going to fund death, you know what I mean? And I don't even get to fucking go out and play with a gun or anything. Just kidding. That's kind of fucked up. But my point is like, man, I'm not content with how things are, or the really the direction of where the fuck it's going. And so what I do every day is I try to work a little harder to be less of a piece of shit. And like I said, hopefully the people in my immediate surroundings will recognize, and maybe if I put it on YouTube and I spread it through social media, maybe that'll have a bigger effect. You know, maybe it won't be just local, maybe it'll be national, you know what I mean? The next step would be global, to spread as much positivity and love globally. Now, again, I don't have this childish thought that there won't be conflict, but I'll say this. I don't fucking stand with your wars. I don't fucking stand with your bullshit. I stand with the people of this fucking country. And I am tired, sick and motherfucking tired of the bullshit going on and being had. Straight up being had, being fed bullshit like we're fucking nothing, dude. And that's what it feels like. It feels like we don't have any kind of support. It feels like we're just a used group of fucking millions of people that has no power. And that's exactly what they want us to feel like. And until we start to unite and really band together, nothing's going to change. And so here I am, asking you, will you join the fight to become personally excellent? Because it's going. And it's not even so much a fight between political parties, or it's not a fight between really, you know, anything that we can see. It's a fight between good and evil, essentially, at this point. And I'm on the side of good, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the side of real light and projection, or not projection. So I'm getting a little baked. Basic progress is what I was saying. Developing, you know, a way to progressively grow and get better every day as a country, you know, of course. But, you know, for the good of the people of this country, not for the good of the people that are running the country. And that's what it feels like is going on. It feels like, oh, they're just allowed to fucking lie and cheat and steal, and we just have nothing that we can do about it because that's how they've made it. Oh, pay your taxes. You know what I mean? And if you don't, what happens? We all know. We all know. Anyways, I don't know if this is even going to make it, but we're just thinking, you know what I mean? We're just hanging out, kind of winding down for the night. So, yeah, guys, I don't want no mediocre. You've heard me say it a million times, and I don't want that for you either. So, take a minute to really think about, what you could do to make an impact on even a person's life around you or your community, and take an action. You know what I mean? Make something happen. Get out there and make some change. Be the change you want to see. That's where it starts. With that being said, guys, and I mean it, victory to everybody. Much love and appreciation. Thank you guys for watching. Get a hold of me if you want to bullshit, and if anybody wants to be on the podcast, get a hold of me. We'll schedule something. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to get back to work. All right, later.